Hi there, it's Angel from Dark Nebula. So this short tutorial I'm just going to show you how to use the new VMX OBS Track Data Output system. So if you're reasonably familiar with OBS, then you may have used in the past, with like OBS Streamlabs or something. Muxi, you might have used a text input to get the status from the game that you're playing, or maybe music details from another piece of software, and you get it live updated on your stream. Basically VMX is doing the same thing, so it'll output track data and some context mode details for you. And it works essentially in the same way as other utilities you might have used. So if you've imported text from a file in OBS before, then you probably know what to do. So I'm just going to briefly show you where the VMX files are kept. So those of you who are experienced can just fly on ahead and do this yourself. And then secondly, I'm going to walk the novice users through who might not have done this before. So first of all, you need to make sure that you've run VMX 2.2.4 at least once, so that it can output the OBS track data files. So it's just to get it started. So if you've just installed VMX 2.24 or you haven't run it yet, then load Voice Attack with the VMX profile, just like this.
Dark Nebula Cloud.
So just completely as normal as if you were going to use VMX normally. Make sure you're using 2.2.4. Now you can leave Voice Attack open with VMX if you want, and do what I'm about to show you with Voice Attack open, or you can just close it again. Now for the purposes of this video, just so I can clear up some screen real estate, I'm going to close it, but it's up to you. Now, so for those of you who've used things like Muxi and Streamlabs before and imported text files into OBS, all you need to know most likely is where the files are housed. So I'm just going to bring my OBS up here, and I'll bring this back onto the screen in a second. So we need to go into your Windows partition. So for me, it's C. It's the partition's got Studio for me. So yours is going to be different. Your username will be different. Your partition name or letter will be different. But yeah, the navigation set is the same. So we go, for me it's into C, and we want to locate users within the Windows installation. Then my username is CatsM. Yours will be something different, of course. So click into that, and then what we're looking for is app data. So go into app data, and then roaming, and then if we scroll down, we'll find a folder called VMX Stream Data, and then within that you see two text files which will have just been created if you've just installed VMX 2.24 or higher. So we have two text files, VMX Status Info and VMX Track Info, and you want to import those into OBS. So you create a text GDI plus, and then point the file to these two text files. Now you can use one or the other or both. So for this video, I'm going to show both. So if you're experienced with that, that's probably all you need to know. If you got a reasonable bit of knowledge with OBS and you're handy at locating files, yeah, that's probably all the information you need to know. So I'll leave you guys with that. If you've not done this before and need a bit more information, that's no problem. So I'll put that over to one side. So that's still useful information on the location, but we'll come at it a little bit different. So you need to obviously make sure you got OBS installed. Let's just arrange my windows a little bit nicer. So yeah, making sure you got OBS installed, load up OBS, and all you need to do is we're going to create 2 text setups from this list here. So we go down here where the plus is to add a source. So we add the source, and then we go to text GDI plus. Click that. Then we get a create source, just in the usual way, and we just need to give it a meaningful name. So call this one VMX Track Info. You can call it whatever you like, but it's just for the purposes of meaning something. I'm going to call it that. So call that VMX Track Info. Now click OK. A new window will open up. Properties for VMX Track Info, which we just created. So we need to click Read from File, and then a new window will open, which will give us a Browse option next to Text File. So we click Browse. Then we need to navigate to App Data, Roaming, and VMX Stream Data. So I'll show that once more. So this is the full way of navigating to it. I mean, there are shortcuts, but for the one size fits all thing as much as possible. So it's housed within Users within the Windows installation partition. Then whatever your username is, for me it's catsm. Then App Data and Roaming, and then we scroll down until we locate VMX Stream Data, and then we select the .text file from within VMX Stream Data. So for this one, we called this text edition VMX Track Info, didn't we? So we'll choose VMX Track Info.text. Okay, so you see in big text there, no track data, so that's reading that from what VMX is output. And to get it to a nice size, you can manually resize the window. I mean, that's if you're not used to doing that, then have a look at the OBS guides. That's more of a OBS usage thing. So yeah, I'll just go back to that. I'm sidetracking myself. So I'll go to select font, and then under size, I'm selecting 72 because that's not a bad text size. You can obviously change the font, you can change the style, color, yeah, all those lovely things. So go into font size 72, click OK, and that gives us a nicer size. So I click OK to confirm that. Now I have my OBS editing locked, so I'm just going to unlock that, and we've got no track data, VMX offline, so obviously VMX is not doing anything. So I'm just dragging that to a nice location so you can put it wherever fits your stream. And then for the context information, I'm going to add source again, just like we did at the beginning. Go to text again. And for this one, I'm going to call it VMX Status Info. Click OK. And then the same again. I'm going to tick the box for read from file. And then the browse button will appear. So we browse. And then we want to choose the other text file from the same location, app data, roaming, VMX stream data, and we go to VMX status info, open that, and then same again, choose a nice size for it. So 72 again, so that's under fonts. And then we're happy with that, click OK, and then we put that into a nice place. So I just put it down here. And that's it then. If you normally lock your preview window, then you can relock it. So we go up to edit in the file menu in OBS. So I'm just going to do lock preview. You don't have to do that, but if you like to work like that, so you don't get the red editing bars everywhere, then it can be handy. So yeah, that's it. We've got both VMX infos imported, so I can close this window, the location of it. We don't need that again. Now I'm going to move OBS off the screen because it's seeing itself. It's a bit of a mess. So you can see on my screen we've got that information laid out. So now all I have to do, if you left Voice Attack running, then you can just issue a command and get going. Oh, I closed it, so I'm going to reopen it.
Dark, nebula, cloud.
Okay, so you notice the text is a little bit too long for that, so we can always edit that and play around with it so that it fits. So you can just resize it to what fits you. So obviously you're going to need to play around with the text sizes. So put that in, then see I can resize this one as well. So it looks nice. Now I'm not going to play around with that because it's not really relevant for that, but you obviously size it and position it to the way you're happy and just make sure that the text fits. So the default text is purposely to a particular length, which represents how long VMX data is going to be output. So if you can make that fit, then most things are going to fit nicely for you. Right, so I'm just going to do as it suggests, play something, and just show you it in operation. Play original.
Playing original mix.
Okay, so you see we get some track and artist info in the top there, and we get details about context mode, so it's telling us context mode is disabled and which cooldown mode we're in, and the track data always hit the top there. Then that will update no matter what you do then, but if you're in context mode, if you play in playlists, etc., that will upload, so it's compatible with all of it. Next track.
Next track.
Okay, so we get the track info updated. Stop music.
Stopping music.
Sorry if you can hear any banging out there. We've got a bit of a thunderstorm going on at the moment. Okay, so there we get a status info updated, playback stopped, no track info. So we're back to the default, and then if we close Voice Attack, then it tells us that VMX is offline, and that's the default. If you uninstall VMX at some point, then you might as well just leave the text files there. They're only 1 or 2K for the whole thing. So if you do want to install VMX again, they stay there. They're so small, they're not going to do any harm. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. So very simple to use feature, pretty powerful as well. I think quite a lot of you might find this useful. So yeah, I won't take any more of your time up. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. There's a guide in text as well if you want to see screenshots and take it step by step if you're new to OBS and fiddling around with things is not your thing usually, then there's a text guide as well. But other than that, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy that feature, and catch you on the next one. Bye bye.